Hello, everyone. Well, and I don't even have my mic over here, so I'm not sure if y'all can hear me. Bear with me here. All right, let's get this rearranged. So I wanted to come on. Facebook's been having some technical difficulties, so I'm not even certain that you guys will be able to hear me, but today we are talking about adult acne, and if you're catching this on the replay, hold on. Once we get through some of this stuff while I'm waiting for people to come on, then you will have all the information you want. So if you want to fast forward a little bit, that is totally fine. If you're new here, I'm Audrey Christie, holistic wellness practitioner. I help people overcome chronic illnesses and long-time issues through a several-pronged approach, but basically body, mind, and spirit. I'm a certified functional medicine practitioner, certified in all sorts of different holistic wellness and healing modalities. And so that is how I help people. And today we're talking about acne, right? Or acne and other skin conditions. So if you're new here, feel free to drop the information in the comment box below. I'm always happy to answer questions. Send me some hearts. If you want to save this video for reference later, you can click the share button. And even if you hide it from your newsfeed, even if you hide it from sharing on your newsfeed, it'll still live in your video library, so you can find it easily and refer to it quickly. So I do encourage you to jump on and say hello. And I love seeing the little hearts and thumbs up and haha if I say something funny, which I might not during this video. So welcome. All right, let's talk about acne. So true story, acne is it's a topic that's very, very personal for me. I've struggled with adult acne for most of my 30s, and my 30s are getting close to gone. They're slightly over, halfway over. I'm one of those people that any sort of issue in my gut is immediately expressed through my skin, even if I do really, really good for a long time. And I know a lot of you are that way too. People generally tend to fall on one end or the other of the spectrum. Either as soon as that hits your lips, the very next morning you wake up with skin issues, or you build the inflammation inside your body, and then eventually it gets expressed or manifests itself as a skin disorder. What do I mean by skin disorders? This could be acne. This could be eczema. This could be psoriasis. It could be, urticaria, which is just an itchy rash. It could be any number of things that show up on your skin. It could even be, overly dry or overly oily skin. Dandruff is another one that shows up a lot for people. So it's sort of all encompassing. I'm focusing on acne because it's too long of a title to put all of that in the title. And again, because that's really personal for me. And I know a lot of women my age and older were like, man, we didn't have acne that bad when we were kids, but dang, y'all, now we have it. And it sucks. So we're going to talk about the skin, some of the causes of adult acne and other skin disorders, the garbage, the theory of garbage in, garbage out, because it's true, especially with the skin, how you can sort of sort out the cause, right? So how you can figure out like, okay, here's what I've got, what is it, and what can I do to fix it? And then, of course, we'll talk about healing foods and practices to heal your acne and other skin issues. But first, let's talk about skin function. Our birthday suit performs a ton of vital functions. Lots of people don't know this, but your skin is actually your largest organ. So your skin is considered an organ, just like your heart or your lungs, and it's your largest organ. And it's one of the reasons why I harp so much about what you put on your skin is equally as important, not quite equally, we'll talk about that more later, but close to equally as important as what you put in your body, okay? We'll talk about makeup a little bit more, but you wouldn't eat petroleum, right? You wouldn't eat a lot of these nasty chemicals. So why would you put it on your skin? Because it still hits your gut and it still hits your bloodstream, just as if you were to consume it through your mouth. So our skin is our initial barrier from invaders, from the environment. It shields our insides from light and heat and infection and injury. It also helps to regulate our body temperature, gathers sensory information from outside. It helps to produce vitamin D. As you know, the best way to get vitamin D is to go stand out in the sunshine for 25 minutes. And it shows a lot of what's wrong with our health, especially well, actually, I won't say especially. I was going to say especially the skin on your face, but the face is a good indicator of a lot of healthy, unhealthy or healthy things, but it can show up in other places on your body as well. So a lot of people look at this or a lot of people are calling, you've probably heard me talk about the gut-brain axis, or the gut-brain connection. Well, there's actually a gut-brain-skin connection as well. Now, it doesn't have anything to do with the vagus nerve, such as the gut-brain connection, but it's sort of equally as direct and obvious, okay? The gut and the skin play some really vital functions, and they actually share in some vital functions. They both, for example, protect from invading pathogens, right? So they protect us from environmental toxins and invading pathogens. They do the best they can. Both the skin and the gut have its own complicated microbiome, right? So you've heard people talk about the gut microbiome. There's also a microbiome on your skin, and my microbiome is slightly different than yours. And it can be healthy and it can be unhealthy as well, just like the gut. And the brain comes into play because there's something called the neuroendocrine system, which basically are nerves that innervate the skin and the gut and the brain, and they allow the brain to send different messages from the gut to send different messages from the gut and the skin to all different parts of the body, and allows it to control different hormone releases and different functions and all sorts of different things, right? It's all connected, the gut, the brain, and the skin. So thanks to that neuroendocrine system, the brain can actually turn on leaky gut. So when you experience emotional stress, or even environmental stress of any kind, anxiety, the brain can actually send the message to the gut to start that intestinal permeability or leaky gut. Even with good fuel going in, that can happen. So it's really important to balance it all. But it's also, something simple can mess up things, especially if it's chronic, especially if you have long-term stress. But it can easily be relieved too with some simple switches and choices. And so interestingly enough, the gut-skin relationship doesn't only go one way. It's not just what you put in your mouth gets expressed in your skin. It also goes the other way. What you put on your skin can end up damaging your gut as well. And really, it's sort of a vicious cycle. The nutrient deficiencies in your gut cause skin disorders, but you can't absorb the nutrients that you need to fix those deficiencies because you have leaky gut, and then the gut leaks those nutrients that you need out into your bloodstream, which then furthers the inflammation and makes the skin disorders worse. And then you put the cream or powder or whatever on the skin disorder, and then that affects the gut and makes it worse. And it really is just this vicious cycle, and it just continues and continues and continues. So let's look at this theory of garbage in, garbage out equals acne. And again, you can replace acne with anything: dandruff, eczema, psoriasis, any of those things. If you want to, or even if you want to prevent or reduce your risk of what most people call genetic predisposition to skin cancer, it's not all genetics. It's more of a what genes get turned on epigenetic type situation, but we'll talk more about that in another episode. But if you want to make all of that better, then it really starts with what you put in your mouth and what you put on your skin. And this is especially true for adult acne. It's still true, but there's some other factors that come into play when you're talking about your teenagers with acne and your kids with skin issues. It can be slightly different. There can be a few more factors at play, but generally it's the same thing. So I'm a functional medicine practitioner, and in functional medicine, there's a standard process to fix this. It's known as the 5 R's. Remove, replace, reinoculate, repair, and rebalance. Okay? The 5 R's. Remove, replace, reinoculate, repair, and rebalance. So first we start with remove. And removing means we're eliminating all the things that you're putting in your body that are causing inflammation and contributing to your poor gut health. Lots of times this involves some lifestyle rearrangement because we're really removing several facets of toxins. So we're looking at emotional stress, environmental stressors, environmental toxins, foods that you may have a sensitivity or an allergy to. Sometimes this starts with a simple detox, like we talked about last week, or sometimes it's a simple elimination of foods, and sometimes it's a combination of the two. But during that remove phase, we're really looking at getting rid of, temporarily usually, anything that's causing inflammation, anything that's contributing to your leaky gut. Usually this phase lasts for about 21 days. Sometimes it can take longer before we can start adding stuff back in and seeing what the trigger was. After we get it all cleaned out with a remove, then we start to replace. You might think, oh, that's easy, probiotics, but we're not quite there yet. Usually we're looking at replacing these things your body needs to have healthy digestion. And that includes things like probiotics, but it also includes things like digestive enzymes and bile salts and different things like that. So after you have removed and replaced, the next is re-inoculate. And this is where your probiotics come into play. Now, I believe everyone needs to be taking 30 to 50 billion CFU a day. If you're having some sort of expansive skin inflammation, be it acne, eczema, psoriasis, you need more than that. Again, this dose is different for kids. So if you have kid questions, put them in there and I can certainly answer them. But you're going to need more than that. And depending on your problem and depending on what we think the cause might be, we may even look at searching out particular strains of probiotics to target that problem specifically. So again, re-inoculate, you're going to take a high dose of probiotics to start to re-inoculate the gut with good bacteria that's healthy, and start to make that a healthy, active, functioning microbiome again. Now, once we've re-inoculated the gut, you can start putting to use all of the vitamins and nutrients you need. And since we've already removed all of the inflammatory stuff, you're already eating a really nutrient-rich diet. Foods that taste good, that are high in good fats, they're salty and they're sweet with natural sugars, and they're full of vegetables and fiber. So after the re-inoculated stage, during the repair stage, we might start supplementing with things. Because here's the thing, if you're supplementing, so say you're taking vitamin A for your acne and you have leaky gut, your body's not absorbing that vitamin A anyways. So you're just creating expensive pee. And I know I've talked about that before, but you really have to be able to absorb the nutrients, no matter how expensive they are. You have to be able to absorb the nutrients in your gut in order for your body to put them to use. I mean, it's quite simple. And during that repair stage, you tackle reintroducing these nutrients and these minerals via the form of supplements, and then really focusing in on the right diet. And then once the repair stage has happened, we move on to the fifth stage, which is rebalance. And so rebalance is not just focusing nutritionally, right? So in rebalance, we have to find a lifestyle balance, and that includes nutrition, that includes balancing stressors, emotions, any negative habits that are long-term. We have to balance sleep, we have to balance the energy body, and we have to make any modifications necessary for you to be the best expression of you in wellness. And that includes your skin, right? So let's talk about how to know the cause of your acne. See if I can get my drink over here. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them below. Even if you're catching this on the replay, which is where most of you will catch it, because I turn into a pumpkin at 3 p.m. Central because I pick up my girls from school. So I know this isn't a great time, but feel free to pop your questions in below and I will certainly get to them. So let's talk about how you could know. Well, first things first, you need to do the 5 R's and rebalance your gut microbiome. And generally that fixes the problem or comes really, really close. And then after that, you may have to fine tune stuff. So we can confirm that you have leaky gut with your labs. And I can include a link to that in the comments below. So you'll want to confirm your leaky gut with labs. Basically, you send the labs over. We look at it from a functional medicine perspective and put to you and let you know, yes, it's confirmed that you're having trouble absorbing this, this, and this, which is indicative of a leaky gut. The second thing you can do is to look at your face. Or look at the area that your skin breakout is. So for me, to give you a little bit of what I have going on right now, I've been working on low adrenal gland function, adrenal hypofunction. It's easy to, as an entrepreneur, as being self-employed, wanting to take care of people, to overdo it and to burn the candle on both ends and all those sort of things. And so for a few weeks now, I've been focusing on revitalizing my adrenal glands. Well, part of that is detoxing the kidneys. Part of that is, just following the same 5 R's. Part of that is detoxing the kidneys. So one way to know that there is kidney detox happening, or to know that maybe the problem is something to do with your kidneys, which can lead us to down the path to figuring out it's your adrenal glands, is when you have acne in this area. So, and you can see I have some. So I'm still detoxing a little bit. So that's a good sign that, well, it's a bad sign, but it can be a good sign too. But that's a sign that there's something going on with your kidneys. Your lungs are generally acne breakouts here. Your heart somewhere in here. Your intestines here. Kidneys are also around the ears. So if you get spots or sores around your ears or acne around your ears and down the side of your neck, that's also an indication that there is something going on with your kidneys or your adrenal glands. You can also find corresponding areas on the body. So kidneys, for example, are your trapezius, right around this same area, or you can follow the kidney meridian as it flows through the body. Usually the pattern of breakout will follow some sort of pattern, and maybe it has multiple patterns, right? So it might take having a clean set of eyes look at you or a knowledgeable set of eyes look at you as well. So that's another way you can tell. So two best ways to tell what and where you have, type of skin disorder you're having. Two, you're confirming leaky gut. And you don't always have to confirm leaky gut with labs. Oftentimes you can tell without that. So let's talk about how to fix it. Gosh, there are a number of different ways. Vitamins that you need for your skin health. Vitamins A, C, E, D, all really great. They're all really great antioxidants. They're all really great for the skin. Omega-3 fatty acids are also really, really essential for skin health. As you know, I recommend 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams per day minimum for grown folks, and close to 3,000 milligrams per day minimum for kiddos. Protein, potassium, vitamin C. I think I said vitamin C already. Those are all really, really important. Zinc, selenium, copper. If you're deficient in any of those can cause skin issues. And again, the way you get deficient is either you've got a really sad diet, or you have leaky gut or intestinal permeability issues that are not allowing your body to absorb the nutrients that you need. There's lots of other micronutrients and phytonutrients that you can have. So once you move through your 5 R's and you get to the repair stage, number 4, then that's where you start adding those vitamins and minerals back in. Of course, nutrition, very, very important. A healthy diet full of colorful vegetables. If you've seen my redesigned food pyramid, vegetables are at the bottom, meat is next. And so those are really, really important. They help establish gut health, and they help help your skin have the best expression possible. There's also some different herbal elixirs that you can do. A really great one for dandruff and for scalp health is rosemary, lavender, and thyme, not the essential oils, the actual herbs. Boil them in 2 cups of water, let it cool completely, and then strain the herbs out and use that as a leave-in conditioner, scalp spray. Supplements that you can do that would be sort of categorized under those nutrients: vitamins A, C, E, D, omega-3s, really, really important. You can also do a crystal elixir for acne specifically with aquamarine, clear quartz, and you set it out in the sun, make a gem elixir with it, and then use that as a toner every day. That's also really, really good. And then energy work to decrease stress in the form of meditation, Reiki, having your bars run. Any of those things are really, really great to reduce stress, improve the energy flow. Having a crystal healing session where you rebalance and realign all the chakras. Having an energy medicine session where you learn to test and manipulate your meridians, your acupressure points, and your lymphatic system to keep your body flushed of toxins in that arena as well. All right. That really about covers it all. And gosh, I talked for 19 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them below. This will also be the topic of this week's podcast and blog posts, which come out tomorrow at audreychristie.com. I will see you guys soon. Namaste.